Julius and Ethel Rosenberg will die in the electric chair at Sing Sing Prison tonight. Warden Deno said earlier that the executions would begin at 8 p.m. daylight time. That's within the next 15 minutes. We're told that the president and attorney...
This is silly, please. I can't. Allemaal die vraag hier is vijandelijk mag u zijn.
Begrijgen of je me gewoon, of ga je de golbees Israël?
Begrijgen of je me gewoon, hoe ga je de golbees Israël?
Agalo bizman korif.
Vimru amen.
Yehesh me rabo mvarach, la'olam u'lomei omayam. Yisparach ve'yishtabach.
Ethel Greenglass was born to a Jewish family in New York City, September 28, 1915. After failed attempts at becoming an actress and a singer, Ethel took a secretarial job and attended meetings of the Young Communist League.
During the 1920s and 1930s, during the Great Depression, particularly in the 1930s, communism wasn't this scary thing that it was after World War II. So a lot of people had turned to it as a political ideology because capitalism seemed to have failed during the Great Depression.
It was at these meetings where, in 1936, she met Julius Rosenberg. 3 years later, they married. They would later have 2 sons, Robert and Michael. In 1942, Julius joined the Soviet Union's secret agency, the KGB. With the help of Ethel's brother, David Greenglass, who was working on the Manhattan Project, the creation of the atomic bomb, he was able to hand over many top-secret files regarding it to the Soviets.
David Greenglass, his brother-in-law, is the main agent because he was at Los Alamos. He was working on the Manhattan Project and the atomic bomb. And so Julius approached his brother when his brother-in-law when he got transferred to New Mexico where Los Alamos is and basically encouraged him to hand information over to him, which he would then pass on to the Soviet Union. And I think David Greenglass actually handed it over to somebody else. I think it was Harry Gold was the spy's name. But Julius was sort of his connection to these Soviet agents.
In 1949, just 4 years after the United States tested their first atomic bomb, the Soviets tested theirs. This shocked the United States government, believing correctly that the only way the Soviets knew about this was from the inside. After a series of arrests, the paper trail led to the Rosenbergs in 1950. After denying it, Greenglass relented, stating that both Julius and Ethel were involved. The trial began March 6, 1951, with Judge Irving Kaufman presiding and Assistant U.S. Attorney Roy Cohn as the prosecutor. On April 5th of that same year, Judge Kaufman sentenced the Rosenbergs to death.
People had suspected for a long time that the government had accused, when they catch these spies, they accuse Ethel as well, hoping that Julius will confess. But he doesn't confess, and they basically have to go through with it and execute both of them because he basically called the government's bluff.
Despite appeals of mercy ranging from Albert Einstein to the Pope, on June 19, 1953, Ethel and Julius Rosenberg were executed by electric chair at Sing Sing Correctional Facility in New York. The execution date was pushed back 2 days for the Jewish Sabbath, as well as the Rosenbergs' 14th anniversary.
Julius was the real ringleader, and it was basically his idea, and David went along with it. Ethel Rosenberg really knew what was going on, but she did not participate in any of it, and that's what's really coming out right now in the last month.